Hello, people. Welcome to an episode of Bethel Brothers Hot Rod. This is going to be Project 47, Joe's 1947 Ford Hot Rod. The reason I'm out here in the backyard with Milo is I'm pouring these pavers around the existing patio. I got a couple over here. Joe and I figured out by buying the concrete by the bag, it's like 6 cents a paver, or 60 cents, I think. So it's coming out cheaper, and these lines that are in it is actually black sands that I've caught from mining. And yeah, I'm throwing a little bit of gold in it, but you know, hey, if it makes it sparkle, I've actually cleaned most of it, so it's kind of cool to throw in the concrete. But enough of that, let's go look at Joe's car. So here it is, Joe's 1947 Ford with a Chevy guts in it. And he had a busy morning. He had to work on Julie's mom's car to fix her brakes, and then her son's tire. Now he's back, and he's got all this insulation foam for pipes around all the edges that can get scratched. Now, last time you saw this, Joe had the motor out, Tranny out, everything out, because he was replacing his clutch. Well, he got everything put back together, and the bearing that goes inside didn't get aligned right, so it's in there rattling around. So all of this has to come back off. And I'm not mining today, and I offered to help him, since it's kind of a pain in the ass to pick up. Last time we put it on, he had a big old scratch over here.
This bearing.
You gotta speak up.
It's the pilot bearing. It's this bearing. If this was the output shaft coming off the transmission, this is mounted in the flex plate, and when you put the transmission in, it locks that in. Well, when it got bolted in, what it did is it went in at an angle, pushed this bearing back, shoved it all the way out, so when it was bolted up, it was barely on the tip. Now it's not in the hole. So I need to pull the other bearing, put this new one back in, bolt it all back up, and hope it's splined in right, and then it'll be done. If not, I'm gonna do it again.
Something else that he fixed, he had the busted motor mounts, and after he put it back in, the headers were hidden, so he had to do some modification there. And that big open hole they cut for the fuel pump, he actually filled that in, which I'll show you when we get down to that. But all this has to come off. 9/16. Joe keeps saying 9/16. First thing we got to do is get this radiator
I don't have
out.
to.
Why don't you have to?
Because if we unbolt those bolts and this is undone, if we pick it up and walk forward with it, it comes off.
The radiator will go with it this time?
Yes. Why disassemble stuff? I don't know.
That's because I said that last time. Then the carburetor's got to come off so we can get the plate on it to hoist it on out with the new cherry picker Joe bought out there by the New Yorker. You see that? He doesn't have to disconnect like everything, just a few things, battery lead, the starter, blah blah blah, maybe a fuel line, and then we can get this stuff out of there. Oh, and the shifting linkage, and the U-joints on the drive shaft. It's quite a bit of stuff.
You're only going to be able to go forward like about 3/4 of an inch, and then we got to go straight up with it towards the shock tower.
Like last time. I remember doing this one time before, man.
I gotta put it on my Mickey Mouse gloves. Hold on a second, Joe.
Oh, it's a little heavier in the front this time.
Hold on, you're scratching the shit out of this side, bro. I gotta get the front end. We gotta go up higher. It was kind of getting hung up down here. The fucking shit was hitting the fan. Maybe. Up high.
Very Slow and easy. Ta-da! You doing?
That wasn't too hard, huh, kids? Huh? No? Disconnect the fuel line. Take out bolts for motor mounts. Remove carburetor. Not in that order, but those are some of the things we gotta work on. Whoosh. And then the driveline. And the headers.
I left the driveline in last time. I'm just going to disconnect the bolts from the headers here. Take off the carburetor, disconnect the fuel pump. Pull the wires back from that and the starter. Take all that off. Take off the carburetor, put the lift plate.
Wait, you got a slip yoke back there?
Lift everything on.
You got a slip yoke in the back?
No, it goes to the transmission. It's a slip yoke.
That's what I was asking.
So I just kind of cheap.
Cool. Well, you heard the monkey say it. That's what we're going to do.
Should come out a lot faster now.
Maybe. It's definitely easier to get your motor out. If you have to do something like this, if that's in the way, you're going to beat and bash and smash everything. Okay, so we're disconnecting headers. And I'm fighting back some puke because Joey left an old Coke out here and I took a big old swallow of it.
Yeah, that's
It is your fault because you don't pick up stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to puke. Got the carb off and the lift plate on. And got to disconnect this linkage over here for the shifter. Take out a couple bolts on the tranny, and according to Ding Dong over here, all we have left is to pull those. And it comes out.
Take this fuel pump off, pull the wires off the starter off.
That's it.
That's it.
Ta-da.
Yank it out.
Look at him. He likes it when I get sick and don't feel good. He thinks it's funny. Look at him smiling. Joe got the fuel pump out, and in the previous episode to this big chunk was cut out of the cross support, and he formed that piece in using a piece of 3-inch exhaust pipe. He's all, dude, that'll never work. But I made a bunch of parts for Sam out of this stuff, and it's pretty beef. Serves a purpose, and now he doesn't have a giant hole there, just a hole there. So that worked out kind of good. Battery, fine. For the starter. A couple loose odds and ends. This guy.
This is a vacuum line, just pull it off.
And then his linkage on the other side, and that's it. Taking out the motor mount bolts. Prepare for some saggage.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saggage. Taking the pressure off of the bolt a little. Right about there, almost, kind of.
I'll just beat it out with a punch.
Gotta get that there bolt. Do that there motor mount. That there bolt. Do that there motor mount. And then there's some tranny stuff and jerk it out. Manettes, whoever's watching this, you know who you are, you grease monkeys. Up a little. No. Tink.
Yeah, I like to be called that.
Tink. Ta-da. Bolts out, dude. Good job, Joe.
Pull it out a little bit more.
found that jack stand, man. There's a jack.
Yeah, I don't care. We're floating now. We're good.
Oh, hang on. It's got the wires over here.
No, tuck these with the motor. Back it up.
You got lights in the back?
Yeah. Hold on. A little bit back towards you. A little bit more towards you. Back towards you. Hold on. I'll some water so it drop.
That's high enough.
Back out a little bit more. Turn. Don't go up. Turn. Turn. Douche. Sure we're all inside.
And she's swinging. Old tire. Houston, the guts have landed. Douche. Goodbye, bad water. It's bleeding to death. Phew.
Kitty.
Disconnect, pull back, new bearing, slide on, put it back, shove back. Hope it works.
It'll
You want to do all that today, or
I'm down.
had enough fun? Just pull a motor.
It's out.
Wasn't bad for a couple hours worth of work.
Just because I did a bunch of shortcuts. Figured out what I didn't need to take apart this time.
Yeah, last time we did like major surgery.
Took everything off. Water pump, fuel pump, pulleys, alternator, headers, valve covers, everything.
Yeah, that's easier.
One day instead of 3 weekends.
Yeah. Hopefully nothing got real beat up in there.
Well, I'm sure it will.
We'll see. You'll just have to stick around and stay tuned. But for now, people, that's all we got to show you. So thanks for tuning in and watching Bethel Brothers Hot Rod. Peace out, babies. Say peace out, babies. You want to say it?
Peace out, baby.